What's up? What's going on? Hide and read. It's bright and early. It's not bright yet, but it is early. Birds aren't up, but we're here and we're going to do a. We're not going to do it. We're going to review it. It's Blake Crouch, Recursion, which was quite a fun read. This was the first time I'm reading this author. He was suggested by one of our fellow booktube friends, and so I thought I'd give it a shot. This is not something I would normally read. I picked it up in a free library, and just look how cool the cover is. And I saw the story, it had something to do with memory, and then I remembered that this author was recommended to me, so I grabbed it. A couple months later, I read the book, and here we are. So, real quick, we can't actually talk too much about this book without spoiling it. That's fine. We could talk about the different topics that are covered in the book instead. So, let's get started. There's a cop, Barry Sutton, and he is he's a New York detective, and ends up investigating this phenomenon that's going on of false memories. And it's a known phenomenon, but nobody understands what's going on. And it's not part of his job, but he goes out of his way to investigate a suicide that he tried to stop. And before the woman killed herself, she kind of let him in on this whole story that happens in Recursion. Basically, he follows this lead, and it sends him down this path. He eventually meets up with a scientist that created this chair that can map your memories and let you go back and relive your memories. And she did this so that her mother could relive some of her memories because she was losing her mind, basically. The company that she's working for doesn't have enough resources for her, so she ends up being approached by like a private group that offers to just take care of everything so that she could do her work. And eventually they get the chair to work. They realize, though, that if the person inside of the chair dies while they're remapping the memories, that something strange happens. And what happens is that they die. They get this big dose of DMT, dimethyltryptamine, and they come back to life inside of this memory that they were reliving. And then they get to start a new timeline. It sounds crazy. It's very crazy. I don't know. It's the most impressive part of this book is that the author was able to keep track of all the timelines, and to me it seemed very consistent. I saw he has a Twitter. I don't have Twitter, but when I was researching a little bit about the author, I saw he posted he had like a big dry erase whiteboard that he was keeping track of the timeline for the book, and it's pretty intense. I thought that was cool. So yeah, we have dimethyltryptamine, near-death experience, and we have like timeline, kind of a little bit of philosophy going on. So for this book to work, the philosophy you need to understand is that all of time is happening at once. All the past already happened, all the future events already happened, and everything in the potential present is happening right now, but all of it is actually like stacked up like on top of each other. and all of time is just in one moment. You kind of need to understand that a little bit for this to work. Whether you believe in that or not, that's your own deal. And but that's kind of a bit of the quantum science behind recursion. And so I guess we'll move right on to NDE and DMT, dimethyltryptamine and near-death experience. These are pretty closely related. Kind of shoehorned into the book a little bit, I'm not going to lie, but it's still interesting. So near-death experience is just that. And for a long time, people didn't really understand what was going on, why you would get such a psychedelic trip when you die. Like what, And I don't know if this is actually proven, but they've theorized that your pineal gland releases a big dose of this dimethyltryptamine, which is a chemical that could be found in basically anything. Like this is a drug that's illegal, but everybody's holding, from the cat to the trees outside to you and me. We're all carrying dimethyltryptamine. It's an illegal substance, so I don't know. Take yourself in right now. You belong in jail. But anyway, this substance gets released upon your death, and you go out on your journeys. So if you didn't know that, now you know that, and you could look more research into that if that's interesting to you. And if you already know about all this stuff, Recursion is going to be a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun reading it. Maybe not the writing is not like something I like. You know what it reminded me of? Like Michael Crichton books. They're a lot of fun to read. It's kind of like reading a manual or something. It's a little bit dry, but certainly the writing doesn't get in the way. The story is fast. Seems like this might be like a crowd favorite. Recursion, and he had one other book that seemed really popular, I think Dark Matter. So maybe I'll try to read something less enjoyed, since maybe I read the best one already. So if you have some suggestions for this author, Blake Crouch, let me know. I think he wrote a trilogy. Wayward Pines has a TV series. Maybe I could check that out too. And yeah, it was fun to read. I enjoyed it. I wish maybe the characters were a bit more fleshed out, and the chair. They always call it the chair, but you never see it. It's not really it's not described. I feel like as they go on to the different timelines, they could have had the chair have different. I don't know. I just felt like they should have done more at the chair. Like, I kind of want to know about it. And the chair is the machine that's putting them through these memory maps. Eventually, they end up using a deprivation tank to induce these NDEs, and they kill the person and bring them back to life. Kind of strange. I don't know why they didn't just take the dimethyltryptamine and sit in the deprivation tank, but Recursion, Blake Crouch. If you like this one, let me give you a suggestion. You might like Nomad of the Time Streams. I've read the first 2 books in this series. I gotta read the 3rd one so I could give you guys the review. But if you like this book, you like the character Helena, and here's the scientist. There's a character in Nomad of the Time Streams that you might like, Una Parson, and I think she's definitely in a bunch of the other Eternal Champion books. And that's a whole nother series that I'm not ready to get into yet, but maybe one day. All right, guys. Hope you're reading good books, staying safe, keeping clean, stuff like that. Anyway, I'll catch you next time. Peace.